Live. Okay, so hello everybody, it's Dr. Phil here, and I am trying to make sure that. Many apologies for that. Okay, let me just switch this around. Hello. All right. So I've got a cable here. This is what caused the problem last time. Just in case there's a bit of delay before everything goes live, this is what caused the problem last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very fastidiously clean it. So I'll put this down here so you can see me do it. So I think we'll first try a very good piece of equipment, which is my jeans. As you can see, that's very good equipment for cleaning things. Let's have a look. It's looking great. It's absolutely, it's marvelous. But I'll make sure, doubly sure, with my shirt. You can never be too careful with these things. And I think just making sure the thing is clean and functioning properly. Oh, look at that. It's practically gleaming. Do you think I should, give it a crack on the sanding paper? No one's here, so they don't get a say, do they? So let's try and I'm going to try and make sure that all of the little nooks and crannies are sorted out, because this is, it's terrible to not be able to hear me. My voice is so wondrous and melodic and episodic and any other ick. Don't think about that one too hard, I don't think. Alright, so I've got this. Yep, cleaning it with a barbecue skewer, because that, of course, is well known for electronic repairs. Ugh. Here's a piece of cloth that you use for a printer. Cleaning it with that, because you can't be too fastidious. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to plug this in, and then we're going to see if this works or not. If it doesn't work, we tried. So it's just over there, so I'll move this over to the left a little bit, and then plug her in. In she goes. Now what I'm going to Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That's still a bit. Okay, does that work? Does that work? Does that work? Does that work? Okay, does that work? Does that work? Does that work? Does that work? Oh wow, we've got it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to wait until we've gotten everything up and everything before I... Oh wow, we've got it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to button everything before I... I'm just going to turn my audio down for 5 seconds and turn it up again. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put this bad boy into here. Make sure that the device is correctly. Okay, so how's that looking? Okay, so how's that looking? Ah, it's a bit terriblish. Okay, so let's just move it. We're nearly there. Now note the typo, making sure the audio works. So true. Of your and hopefully it'll work. I wonder what this is. Hello? Okay, that was weird. Someone just called me. Alright, moving on. Now to YouTube. Okay, we're nearly there. We just need the audio to work and the visuals to work. It's just a bit dodgy, isn't it? Say something, Phil. Does that sound any good? Oh, brilliant. Does that sound any good? Oh, brilliant. Now all I need to do is point it. Okay, so we just move it over to here a bit, then point it down a little bit. Point it back up a bit, I'd say. Oh, ay, caramba, just hurt my wrist. That was one of the lamest ways to hurt your wrist, I reckon. Okay, here we go. Come on, you can do this. making sure the audio is still working, because that is an ongoing issue. Keep going, you can do this. Look back. Back a bit more. No, in fact, I'm going up. Flip it to the side here a bit so that I can actually get in there. It helps if you can actually cut the opal when you're doing this. So there we go. And down. Once we got this, we got this. And down again. As you can see, I'm a one-man, highly incompetent technical department. Here we go. There we go. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. If I do it like that, try and just move this over here like so, move that like that. Finally got it some kind of resolution to the problem, I think. Except it was okay, and down we go. Now we're lucky we've got anything today. Oh, for the love of Mike. I know how to fix that. Tap. 2, 3, 4. Tap. 2, 3, 4. Flip around. There we are. Perfect. So next thing's next. I will just wipe the lens to make sure it's nice and dirty. Now turn up the volume just to make sure. Excellent. It seems that everything's going okay. All right. So, all right. I'm going into the chat again. Hello. Everything good, I think. Okay. So I made sure the audio worked, but now everything is good. Now what I'm going to do is poke the chat just up over to here. It's a bit sunny today, so it's going to be a bit difficult reading your messages. I'm sure we'll all struggle through that with great fortitude, and and other things will be great. So if you ask questions, yeah, perfect. I've got this chat up and running. The chat is working, which is great. So ask away, or not ask away, as the case may be. Now the only other problem is, I'm wondering what that kind of shadow. I think it's just literally a shadow. We've got sunlight coming in. So turning on the infernal machine now, which is behind the camera, which is not exactly what I wanted. But hey, move this out to here. There's always something. Right, turning that on, making sure it is on, make sure that this is still where it should be. Back you go, good. And let's see where the water actually ends up this time. Oh, it's not there. Of course it isn't. Can't make it easy for me, can you? No, you have to make it difficult. It's just sitting there. So let's pull that out. Yoink. And put that back in, away from the camera. Hopefully don't take it. Okay, there we go. Seamless operation, this. Seamless operation. No hassles, no worries, no troubles whatsoever. Move one over. I'm going to silicone this in because this keeps disengaging, just like my audience. Okay, so whoop. Try and pop this in. There we go. Good, that's in. And now let's just adjust the flow rate because it might be just a wee bit too high till we get to a drip. That's a drip. Do you know what a drip is? Here we go. Yep, drip. Yeah, that's a good flow rate. That's a good flow rate. There we go. Good flow rate. Okay, and move over again because apparently it needs to be moved over again. See where we are. Perfect. Now, got some exciting ones here. Got these guys here. This is a belemnite. And just at the tip is a bit of colour. Now it's already half hacked into, so I will continue to hack into it. If I'm bored, I will have a go at this. This is just a chunk of seam opal. I have no idea whether it's good or bad. I just occasionally hack into it whenever I get the opportunity. Here is another chunk of belemnite. This happened... I'm not exactly proud of what happened here. I found a really, really good belemnite, and then I just hacked into another one because I was excited. So I will just turn that one into a nice opal because, you know, I owe it to the belemnites. Here's another one which I just polished up, and I'll finish polishing that out. What I'm thinking of doing is just making sure that any corners are smoothed out and everything's kind of nice. The reason why I'm doing this one is because there's actually some material in the middle of it, and I want to actually display the material in the middle of the belemnite. I thought that'd be a cool thing to do. So we've got a few other little things. We've got another belemnite here, which is one we're going to be doing first up. Now, have a look at this guy. This, it could go either way. Like I said, you shouldn't really hack up a belemnite, right? But if you have a look at the edge here, you can see that there is an awful lot of really, really cool colour at the end here. So what I'm planning on doing, I'm just looking at it myself. Okay, there's a white cap basically here. That's going to go, and sadly that's the outside of the belemnite there, so that's going to go. But I'm reasonably certain that if we do that, let me have a look at the other end. Yeah, I'm reasonably certain if we do that, we'll actually get to the gem. That's just underneath the surface there, and it looks to be a pretty smashing gem. So I think that's worth the risk, that one. I've got one more chunk of belemnite just sitting here. We'll do something with that. But after that, our environmental and archaeological damage is over. Here is a chunk of Ethiopian opal that I forgot that I had. So I'll just carve that little black part out, because that's where the colour is. I've got a huge number of opals that are sitting here, but the one I'll show you is this guy. This is a wood opal, and it's got some lovely blue colour just sitting around, so I'm hopeful that that blue colour will show its face, so to speak, and we will enjoy that one. So that's the itinerary. The only other thing I've got to show you, so to speak, is this guy here, an interesting opal in its own right, because it's got a kernel sitting in the middle of it, and so I'm wondering whether to carve from the back and try and miss the kernel, or alternately try to do something with the kernel. We'll see what we can do with that guy. And there are a few knobbies that are just sitting around. Let me have a look and see if I can find them. Let me just grab these. Yoink. Okay. Oh, and this one I'll show you in a second. Here's a little P knobby. I think this one's worthy of our attention. This guy here, you can flip him around and give him some sun, hopefully. You can see there's some nice colour going through there. This one here is an interesting stone because it's a lightning rich stone, but I gave a shot at treating it. So have a look at it. We'll just clean it up a bit, basically. Try and get some of the colour out of it. That was when I was relatively early on in things, and I was just experimenting. I experiment a lot, so I would say it was a mistake. And yeah, technically it was a mistake, but it's not a mistake to, you know, just try stuff, I reckon. because you shouldn't. It's not that you shouldn't trust people. It's that you should check for yourself a lot of the time whether things are accurate or not. Not just check for yourself in an ignorant way, but check for yourself experimentally. Does this work? Is this the result that people get? You know, all that kind of stuff. Just make sure. Here's another one which I think might end up doing pretty well, but most likely will end up as a doublet. Oop. There you go. You're getting a bit of refraction sitting there, so that's a bit unfortunate, but you know. And here's an offcut. And ordinarily I don't worry about the offcuts, but it's an offcut of such stunning quality, I reckon it's worthy of making into something. And there's a whole heap of other things. There's a few knobbies sitting around. There's a few opals like this one. I don't know what you're seeing of it, but there's a lot of reds sitting through there in a will I show up, will I not show up kind of fashion. And we've got a few obligatory knobbies that have absolutely no promise whatsoever that I will cut into, as I am wanted to do. Here they are. So no point in looking at these. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that these guys have got anything spectacular in them. So that's just a guess. So that's the itinerary. And I may consider, if you are very good, I may consider moving on to another phase and showing you the final shaping and the polishing process, because I don't do that very often, and I think that's important. One final check of the audio, making sure that everything is working. One final check of the audio, making sure that everything is working. Good. All right, so if the audio fails, I can see you. So I can see the chat, so please make mention of it if you're so inclined. So let's get this grindstone grinding. First up, sacrilege to the belemnite. Hopefully the sacrifice is worth it. I'm going in very gently. I'm going to have to go and clean up the back as well, which is not ideal, but it is broken. The back is the broken part. As a matter of fact, if I was a thinking man, I probably would go in from this side, because that's the bit which has already had stuff happen to it. We'll see what it does. And if this produces results, we'll keep the other side good, won't we? Don't think we're going to get results, I'm afraid. Just evidence of a crack. Although, let's just keep it going. Alright, let's just cut from here. Alright, what's that doing? Have a look. This is the belemnite end. It resembles a kernel in many ways. Okay, the bad news is that it's obvious the colour. It's obvious the colour is on the side that is the most of a shame to destroy. So I think we're just going to have to go with what the belemnite's asking us here. It's saying, I want to be pretty again. I want to be pretty. Once upon a time I was a beautiful sea creature. Then they just stuck me in the ground for a million billion years. Keep forgetting the period. It's Cambrian. No, not Cambrian. It begins with a C. That's the problem. I'll just sit there and go, the period that begins with a C. And there's a crack in here too. Speaking of the letter C. Very gently carve from the side to try and mitigate the effect of that crack. Now the problem is, I can't just go to those people playing at home, don't hack into a belemnite, because quite clearly, hacking into a belemnite. So, you know, do as I say, don't not as I do, as you tell your children all the time. You know what? I'm not sure I'm a good moral champion. Padme, I killed a small village. Oh, that's okay. I still love you, Anakin. What a lovely love story that was. I don't like Sam. It's coarse, and it's boring dialogue. I've opted for trying to get rid of the crack because I think the crack is sitting on top of the material I don't want anyway. Personally, I'm just waiting for this whole thing to go pear-shaped. Didn't have to wait long. Yoink. Here we are. Back again. Go away, crack. This reminds me of the last time a plumber came around. Okay. Do you know the story of David Bellamite, the Wise? Not from a Jedi. Never. That's when you combine Emperor Palpatine with the Master from Doctor Who. Very good. Okay, let's see if this Belmont is worth the price we paid. A lot of Bothans died to bring us this information. In case you're interested, it's not unusual to see cracks on a Belmont. They are fossils, they are not gems. Well, they are gem fossils. And I'm going to risk it all by just cleaning up the back. Now we're not going to get excited here. This is probably only about 2 carats and there is a crack in it, but it is a bell knot, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. They say that opal is really tough to value, and this probably will be the hardest. At the moment, I'm actually going to say $500 or $600, because I think there is someone who would be willing to pay that for this kind of thing. But we'll say 500 or 600 Australian, which makes it, you know, max 500 American. I think that's a fair assessment. The reason why it's like so much is because you've got all of these guys, and we're going to see if we're able to do 2 in a row, which we're probably not. So we have to hack through things we really shouldn't be hacking through, and hacking through a lot of them to try and get that gem. So obviously someone who's had the lack of morality basically to carve into one, combined with it actually being worth carving into, kind of a rare find. And I openly admit I couldn't resist hacking into this one because I could just see there's a little bit of goodness in it. So, had to. It's mandatory. Really wasn't. It was terrorism, but you know, what can you do? One of the true justifications I have for this kind of thing is that if you don't create value out of these things, then people don't value them and just chuck them away. And there's no point in mining them at all. And I think there is a lot to be said for looking at these things from, it's Cretaceous, these things from the Cretaceous period, and saying that they have a distinct value all of their own. So, there you have it. My philosophy and a bell knot. And look at that, she's a beauty. What I'll do is I'm not going to go very much deeper into her. There's still a crack there. I'm not going to spend too much effort to devolving that crack. I will spend some effort, however, buffing it up on the other machine. What I'm going to do is I am going to dot this guy up now and turn him into, or her, into a beautiful piece of jewellery. That is a pleasure to behold, that thing. Yep. Can you even see it? Oh, there's a bit of splodge on the screen, is there? Sorry about that. Is that better? No. Let's try again. Okay, so what I can do, however, is I can show you this again. That is an absolute beauty, a wonder to behold. Give it a few views just in case you can't see it on the... There you are. So that one is a success. I did not expect that to be a success, to be honest. There are still a few cracks which need to be sorted. I will do that on the dot. Okay. Let's do the other bell and night, which isn't going to be as successful. Probably anyway. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn it into an attractive piece. There is no colour, it's just clear. We might get colour later. If we do, it'll be an absolute miracle. So hopefully J is for Genius is going to show up at some point. what I think I'll do is I'll polish that up, cracks and all. Because those cracks have got sand. Maybe the sand is giving away some of the structure of the belemnite. So ordinarily you clear out the sand and you make sure the cracks don't appear, but this is a bit different. I'm going to do a semi-cushion cut on it. It's actually looking quite lovely. Quite like this. Might become a favourite of mine. I think simplicity is sometimes just the best. And that side is good too. Look at that. What a sight to behold. Really nice when that kind of plan comes together. A-team style. Just having a quick look to see if there's any colour in it. Bit milky. There's a few reds in it, but that's not because it's got good colour. Oh, there's green. There's green, so there is a little bit. I'm not going to go hunting. It'll be hard to find that green in there, so I'm not going to try and show it to you. Might get a lucky shot. Interesting to see how the camera is getting wet. I've just moved it a fraction of an inch to the left so that we don't, hopefully, get hit again. See that? Try again. If that doesn't work, I'm going to go get a cloth and do it properly. Yeah, cloth time. Quite frankly, peeps, I did not expect that to be so successful. I thought that we were going to have, well, a bit of a belemnite disaster, followed by, well, another belemnite disaster. There's a tiny little chunk of Ethiopian opal here I'm tempted to cut, but no, we're sticking to the plan. We are sticking to the plan. It's going to get dopped up. Right. Let's do... I'm trying to figure out what to do with this guy. I think he's pretty much ready to go. Don't think we should do too much more with him. Just a quick zhoosh around here. Try and get that, yeah. Just try and straighten it here. Look at that, this is tougher than it looks because what's going on is that you're getting kind of a defect in the middle right about the length of the blade. That's what I'm doing here, is I'm just straightening it out. That's fair enough because, well, basically that's not a natural defect, it's mine. So it's only natural as much as I'm a biological organism. So let's just kind of put that down. It's okay, I'll smooth off that bit. Right now. And I think the rest of that can be handled in the polish stage the moment I'll get rid of this defect. I think there's actually a flaw in that part too, it does not help. But there we go, and I'll just facet it down a bit. Whoop. Just tidy that up. Really glad that I messed with this at all. Okay, so that's good. Let me have a quick look. I think I saw a flash of green in this one as well. Potentially, but it's getting docked up. Might not even get docked. Okay. I think this is the last belemnite to mess around with. And then we're going to move on to ones which are a little bit ethically easier to adjust to. This one was just a chunk that I took off a belemnite when I was carving it up. And so if I get to turn into something attractive, that'll be nice. It might sound like sacrilege, but the funny thing is, I don't particularly mind hacking into fossils or doing stuff to make them presentable. I think if people aren't going to be interested in the fossils, then that's a shame. If you can do stuff to actually make them a little bit more presentable, if you can do stuff to make them interesting to the general public, then they might actually take an interest in the fossils. They might want to know, what was this? Where did it come from? How did it get buried? Why have we got it now? That kind of question, you know. Develop some interest, heaven forbid, in our past. There is an obvious quote there, and I don't think we can avoid asteroid impacts and stuff like that, but it has been said that those who do not learn the lessons of the past are doomed to repeat its mistakes. And we certainly see that in modern history, don't we? And a little bit of ancient. Should I turn this into a mini belemnite? A belemnite from a belemnite. Alright, that's how I'm going to leave it. Have I sprayed it again? How annoying. Alright. Let me just move this again. We're going to try and make it as side on as possible to try and mitigate that effect. How's that looking? Good. Let us check the audio, seeing that. Good. Sounds like the audio is doing all right. Whoop, no, I did that one. what I can do here is I can, sorry you can't see this, but I'm actually looping my phone to a wire to try and keep it going. Let's go the other way, huh? Let's try that way. Okay, and what I can do now, I don't need that block anymore, so I will place the phone on the block so that we've got, oh that's good, much better. That's not bad. Having a quick drink break now. Right, what I think I'll do is having a look here. Do I do that one? Perhaps not. Having a look. Kind of tossing up which ones to do. Okay, this one here. Now the reason why I'm being so brutal is I can see a band underneath. You can see a colour bar, so I'm going for that. That was worth it. There we go. Nice. Nice there. Okay, J is for genius must be here because this is looking brilliant. Okay, gotta be careful here. Just be very conservative with the neon focus over. Don't want to ruin the good work. Ah! As I was saying, don't want to ruin the good work. What was I doing? Ruining the good work. Good work there. Look at that. Beautiful work. Rid of that. Good. Look at this. What a lovely opal. Those police helicopters are flying around again. They don't believe me when I say I didn't do it. I've never been able to effectively lie. I think that's the best I can do with it. I don't think it's going to actually come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in and see if I can see a see an end point there. What I'm suspecting is that this actually joins up with that other piece behind. Did that help that bit? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Anywho, let's get that done this side. very carefully, because it's going to be a freeform. I think sometimes you can make these beautiful little freeforms just if you do what the opal says. Look at that. I think I'll leave the rest to the oh, that's a stunning result. That is a stunning result. Oh yeah. Look at you. Beautiful little stone. Where is the... I'm trying to show it to you. Can't see it. Up. How far away is this? Hello? There we go. Okay, good. Alright, you've seen it. Just seems I'm a little bit behind on the feed, that's all. So, alright, let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got a few very interesting pieces. I'm going to try and find the most interesting of them. Need to use a bit of water to figure that one out. Alright. So this one here, very interesting little stone. It's got a little bit of colour just sitting on the face. It may well just evaporate. So we'll see how we go. First things first, let's just get the get the face in order. Well, the sides in order actually, not the face. Not the face, not the face. Okay. Sometimes you get to see the colour bar too, because I don't think there's much of a colour bar sitting here. What I'll also do is I'll kind of angle in that face too, just to see if we can get something happening. Now you can see that that kind of scalloping there. That's actually a fracture, which means that a chunk has been what they call napped off. K-N-A-P-P. Nap. There's a joke saying flint nappers were the oldest profession in the world, not other things. What I'm doing is I'm messing around with the back to try and get it to behave itself. But the other advantage of messing around with the back... Ooh, this looks like one of Riley Gunn's Cubipedes, actually. You didn't think it was. It's starting to show some characteristics. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to round off the back and see what it looks like. We can easily go around the front if this does not work. Okay, executive decision. Okay, this piece here, that's the bit that's been napped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of it. It might make its own stone, but I think trying to get that to mesh with the other stone is just too much of a deal. Nine times out of 10, you're better off cutting it. Slicing it. Despite the number of guards that I've got here, that got in my eye. How annoying. Just going to have a look at the side and see if I can find any evidence of where to go from here. Very interesting. Okay, so there's a very small divot just along here. That's a weakness, and it's the colour is right on the edge of that. So I'm going to cut that divot through. And I'm kind of splaying out a bit because I don't want to cut through the precious opal, which is just there. Cut a bit too wide actually. Cut through it a bit. That's alright. Let's see if we can just... It needs to be more than that anyway, so in a way it doesn't matter if we cut through that. It would be a crying shame if I just cut through all of the precious opal though. Let me have a look. Can't see very much of it now. Although there is something. Okay. This piece is going to foul it, so just got to cut it off. Now the good news about doing it this way is that if you have got yourself a troublesome opal that you've had to cut up, well, at least you've got those fragments that you had to work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring the edges in and see if any of that's going to end up as an attractive opal. If not, oh well. There was only ever a hint of colour in this one, so I like taking risks. And it's not really a risk because this rough was particularly cheap because, well, why would you want to spend heaps of money on it? There's nothing there. Except there is. So what I've got to do is I've got to facet it. There we go. There we go. Okay, I think that there's still a chance it's not going to work out, but I've given it the best chance possible. I'm just cleaning up the back now. That'll be about right. The moment you clean up the back turns up good. Hasn't yet. It's okay, because it's alright wasting your time for that. So nothing spectacular has happened, it's just at the moment a grey rock. But you never know, it might look good later on. Alright, one thing I have noticed is that I haven't done the final bell knot, so I'll just get that one done. Let's have a look at that. Make sure that everything still is lined up. Make sure the volume is still working. Sounds good. Good. Now, time to take a bit of a risk, I reckon. This guy will be quite tough to deal with. What I'm doing is I'm just angling it a variety of ways because that's usually where we go wrong with these things. We don't realise that they should have been faced up entirely differently. Just quickly get this back straightened up, may as well. You never know, the back might actually produce results doing that. Okay, time to move in. I think the bird you're hearing is a woolly wagtail from memory. I don't see any continuity. What I might have to do, I don't know what I have to do. Just cut through here, a little bit, yeah, and then just that white section there that's causing the colour to happen. So I might have to just shine that bit up, and the rest of it is going to not be shiny. It seems to be coloured around the fracture. Let's see how we go. Steady as she goes, I suppose. Alright. So many colour we can work with. Right, so just go from here now. Where are we up to? If I see any colour, I'll try and show it to you. And I think we're running at our limit though. Just very gently going like this. There's about 0.5 millimetre of colour sitting where it is, so if I do this wrong, we'll lose all of it. Ooh, careful, Phil. That. Part of the problem is the way it's facing. It's almost facing away from the entire opal. I interpret that as opals look like your privacy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a bit sacrilegious and cut through here. Right. Look at that. Yeah, okay, so, and then we just cut away from here. So what I'll do is I'll dot that up. There's a little bit of colour. This is more because it's a belemnite than because it's got a lot of colour on it though. It's nice and iridescent, so you know, pretty. So look at how it's gone the other side. Yeah. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Right, that's where I'm finishing this particular one. Not great, but not terrible. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to polish up the remaining section. I'm just going to cushion cut it for the funsies, really. It is a belemnite, and I think that sometimes just saying this is a polished piece of fossil, not a bad concept for jewellery, even if it doesn't have any natural colour. If you were new age inclined, you'd be like, oh yeah, it gives you good luck or something, I don't know. Think of something. Tell you what, I'm getting my cushion cut practice in today. Maybe I can take my cushion cut test to get my cushion cut license. Okay, I'm just going to quickly bring these edges in, just in case the other side has actually got some colour. It's not looking like it, but I'm always a hopeful person. Okay, we got nothing, but it is a nice attractive belemnite. They're all belemnites, they're all good, so good work. Okay, now I'm going to have some fun now. There is a nice little opal here. This is not the nice little opal, I'll cut it anyway. Okay, I've already looked at this, you haven't seen any of it, but there's a chunk of sand right above my thumb. So what I'm going to do is simply slice it in half here. I haven't done much talking about this, it's just a seam opal. Just with a light blue in there. And I think the right call has been made because there is something absolutely fantastic underneath it. Good. So, let me just quickly get that bit off. I love it when a plan comes together. You have to ask the question, is it just luck though? Is it really what you planned? Or is it just that opals go in every which direction, and sometimes just because of the way north faces, you happen to get it right. Well, I'll drop somewhere. That's not it. That's way too small. The thing that was concerning me was it was getting a bit smaller as I was cutting it then. There's there. Let's see if we can spot underneath here. Oh, there it is. There we go, myself a nice little pointer now. And have a look at it. Yeah. Tiny little thing, but I'm going to now cut the rest of it. Okay, we'll cut what has to be cut first. So grind off the things that make it completely unsaleable. I'm trying to remember which person said that. It was such good advice. Always when you're looking at a difficult opal to cut, you go, well, we start with what has to be done before you come up with a plan. Because sometimes the plan shows itself when you cut away the things that need to be cut away. There's something that says keep going this way, just like in this case. You see, it seems that the sand is actually getting mitigated and giving way to some pretty beautiful opal. So let's see if we can just keep that going. It might not end up that way. Can't have it all. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I think there's a crack here, so I'm going to have to cut along that crack line. So we've cut along the one crack line, and now we're cutting along the second. Well, it was definitely a chunk of sand where I was cutting. Okay, may as well clear it like that then. Not exactly what you want to do, but you know. Can't do much if the opal is like this. Yeah. There's way more sand in the middle than I expected. So, you know, bit of a bust. Sometimes that happens. And if all of the opals succeeded the moment you dug into them, they wouldn't be worth very much, would they? They'd just be very ubiquitous rocks that look pretty. Tiger eyes are pretty rock, and it's not worth much because you can cut them very easily. So that particular section didn't do much. I am going to go and carve this piece of sand off, but I'm not expecting much of the entire stone now, I'm afraid. That's alright. Yeah, there's even another section I have to cut off there. I mean, honestly, it's just... Sometimes they were just never going to be just from the start. Yeah, that's okay. Still going to get this one as a pointer. Very, very tiny stone, but it's still a stone. And bigger than the one I started with too, so that's good. Right, yep, just carve that off. I think later on I'll deal with it because like I'd like to go on to something that's a bit more successful. But there we go, cut most of the sand off it. Tiny little thing, but you know, there it is. And down you go. Right, what have we got here? We've got this one, which I can quickly just deal with. No, I see. Just quickly take, this is just a bit of sand mitigation for one which looks partially cut. Also got the sunlight, I'm just going to have a quick look at it. We're going any further. We're not going to go any further with that one. Okay, here's an interesting one. So if you have a look right in there, you can actually see kind of a rainbow sparkle happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this sand here. Now this, I happen to know, is not from Ethiopia, but it certainly does look like some of these yellow opals. Especially the texture of this sand. I might even change my opinion. No, I think it's Lightning Ridge. I think. Okay, so the sand texture, and believe it or not, the smell, tells me that this is probably from Lightning Ridge, and the smell is a particular dealer who usually does most of the Lightning Ridge. Can't remember the specific dealer, but I know it's a Lightning Ridge dealer. And just the way the opal's cutting as well, Lightning Ridge. I even know what parcel it came from. Although, can I tell you the name of the person who sold it to me? No. As per usual, we've got the sand actually pervading a little bit too far. It's encroaching pretty deeply on the back here. So, rather than worry about it, I'm just going to carve through it. That little chunk will go. And that little piece is just going to have to fly off. Sand is always the bane, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes when you're cutting opal, you're essentially cutting for experience. In case you're wondering, the reason why I named this opal session a sound investment was because last time the sound didn't work at all. So what you're hearing, despite whether you like it or not, much better than what it was. There we go. Now I'm just going to have to kind of tidy up the back a bit, because there's no point in having a nice little face if the back doesn't work out. Alright, I'm finished up. I'm not sure you can see that, but basically what we've got is a lovely little multicolour pinfire pattern. Sorry, just stretching my neck. Ugh. Well, that's bad, isn't it? Stretching your neck. Not like it as in, like, I've been found guilty of a heinous crime and they're going to stretch my neck. I mean, I'm stretching my neck like stretching my neck. And whilst we're on the topic, let's get that lens dealt with again. There we go. I'm going to deal with that one now. Having a look for another nice little opal to do, because I'm starting to get to the end of my tether here. So the usual routine is I finish off with the opals, say hello and goodbye to the birdies, and then we all go our separate ways. Yay! Alright, so got a piece of wood opal. There should be another piece of wood opal here. Try and find it, because it's a nice one. Is this the dude? Look at this. One of these two. That one? I think it's that one. No. No. Is that one or that one? It'll be here, don't you worry. They don't run very far, as a general rule. There you are. It's because it dried out, I think. I think it's the right one, yes. Wetting it now, just to see. I don't think that's the one. See what I can find around here. Not that one, not that one. I think it's that one. No, it's just haven't put already. That one perhaps. Ah, yes, there we are. Down here. Right. High risk, but high return. Basically. High risk, high reward. This guy, relatively small, mid-sized. Maximum I could get out of it is 1 carat, I reckon, but probably won't. Still, the colour is so good that I really do want to risk hacking into it. So let's see how we go. I may have to... Alright, so I'll cut from the back. That will settle the issue for me. We'll just cut that end bit off. I don't want to, but sometimes, you know, life does not give you the option. Still, I can postpone that decision just whilst I get rid of most of the other stuff. Just looking at it. Very interesting. hopefully if I just get enough of the rubbish off in a straight line, I don't have to do anything drastic. Now, if you are an opal cutter who's starting out, the thought, perhaps I can get away with not cutting the opal, is possibly one of the foolhardiest things you can say. What it usually means is that you're forced to cut a much smaller opal. Fortunately, this was a good decision because the cut may need to be made an awful lot further back. So the bit that I was wondering whether I could get away with not cutting it, I can get away with that, but I can't necessarily get away with all of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully grind through this. If it's still existing, then well, keep grinding until it either resolves itself or the stone is cleft in twain. I think we're going to have to cleft it in twain. That's alright. There it goes. Fortunately, it wasn't one of those scenarios where I was left with a small stone. It was always going to be quite small. But usually if the impulse that is there to cut it, there's a reason for that impulse. 9 times out of 10, just cut the stone. Now, having said that, this stone has really got this nasty piece of sand right in the middle. I don't think that's going to resolve. No, it's going to stay. Oh well. That stone's a bust. I definitely need to feel like I'm finishing on a window, so I'm going to see what I can see from down here. Got a stone here that is threatening to be good. So let's give that one a shot. This is just an ordinary knobby which is looking extremely ordinary. It's going to hit the top of it and I'm going to hit the sides. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this little knob off. These ones, sometimes you're tempted to keep it like in its form, but very rarely does that go well for you. So if you cut some little knobs off, it gives you a direction to run. So looking from inside at least, we can carve through that. And we can carve this entire section off, really. And that will also give us an idea on where to run with the rest of the stone. Right, let's cut along there. Just so you know, not looking all that crash hot at the moment. What else is it? Coming all the way through. Hopefully when we flip it over, there's just beautiful opal in there and, you know, everything's great. And we feast on plums and dandelions and sing tra-la-la-la and ride off into the sunset. There we go. What have we got? Not bad. I think we've got something. Let's just try and smooth it out. Give me a quick look. We've got some colour. We've got some colour. Let's try and turn it into something. We preferred it on the other side, but that's okay. This is the small section. Oh well, can't have everything. If you're watching at the beginning, you'll realise I did get a nice bell and light, so I can't complain. Everything went right with the bell and light. Everything went wrong with everything else. So, you know, whatever. Okay, so that is a success, but I'm fairly anxious to move on from that. We'll just have a quick cut through this one, having a look at what it looks like. Do I even bother? No, I don't think I will. Alright. Is this the one that I was going to do? Yeah, this is the one I was going to do. This is the final one. What I'm hoping is that there is a seam of fresh opal that's going straight through this. It's a really rather attractive bit on the other side. I'll show that to you in a second. I'm kind of being a bit brutal with it, trying to get to that area. Right, let's try. Oh, look, no, we're not doing that. Just before I started cutting, I noticed some shine where I wanted to slice it off. That's rather interesting. Okay, so don't see any there. I see it all on the left hand side of the opal. I am going to have to, however, cut along a crack where there is. Okay, I've got a game plan. I'm going to cut along here. There's precious opal on both sides of this cut. Not happy about that, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes. So look. That was a good call. There's what's happening is, well, have a look at the side here. You can see all that sand that's sitting in there. But you can also see that white, you can see that sand there. You can also see that white base just sitting underneath. Precious opal is sitting almost directly above said white base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just bring this down like so. And hopefully that sand is going to dissipate at some point as well. I'm going to cut it. Well, basically you can see where the sand all is, so I'm just going to carve that sand back. Right. I think we can get away with that. I'm not going to spend too much effort. In case you're interested, these are very tricky technical rocks to cut, and that's where the appeal really is, because it's all well and good being able to cut an ordinary opal, but can you cut the world's most difficult opal? And I like the concept of I can give a go to pretty much anything. I can try to get some colour out of almost anything. I think that's much more interesting than just being able to buy a $5,000 stone and then just make something good out of it. Of course you can make something good out of a $5,000 stone. It's a $5,000 stone. Beginner could do that. It's much more interesting to buy a piece of potch and say, is there opal in there? Can I make something good out of this piece of potch? And it's all the more rewarding when you can. I haven't given up on the idea of covering it from the other side. So I'm just kind of just making it, curving it in a little bit, you know, not anything amazing, just a little bit. I think we are going to have to go from this side, just to check in, see if there's no reason not to or something. You never know. I can hear the birds just patiently waiting now. They know that this is about to end. They can kind of sense when I've had enough. Having said that, this particular stone has actually worked quite well. So you'll see. I think I'm going to let this one be freeform cushion. So normally a cushion cover is a square one, but this ain't going to be square. This is going to be freeform. Just freeform, free. Cushion, cushion, cushion. Yep. Cushion. And it's about 1 carat. There you go. Let's have a look at it. Now I could turn that into something if I so desired. Let's go and bring this end in. But I think we're done with it. It's not a bad little stone. And yeah, I'm pretty certain that we're going to end up with a lot of fire going. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant. And it's coming through the other side too. So I may as well just get rid of the remaining sand and just let its colours show. So, wow. Right at the very end, a smasher. Okay, so I'm not going to keep, I'm a bit too tired to keep up with that one, so I'm not going to risk it. But that's okay, I've got myself some good ones. I've got this one here, which I've just finished messing with, which will probably end up good. I've got this one here, which just decided, you know what, I'm going to be a good opal. Got this one here, a belemnite, wherever it is. Here, got this belemnite here. I've got this belemnite, which is nice and beautiful. So realistically, I can't complain. I really can't. There is, so I couldn't resist. Little pea knobby with a little bit of colour, couldn't resist. I realised I've got a couple of really nice opals and this one was shining at me. It's still shining at me. Let me just carve this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get the colour out and then leave it because I am tired. I don't want to mess it up just because I'm a bit excited. Just a nice little bit of, look at that. Would you look at that colour? Now it needs to be faced a little bit differently maybe, but we can do that. It's only a tiny stone, but quite frankly, tiny but mighty is good. There you go, have a look at that. Maybe have a look at that. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Come around that side. Sorry, probably already doing that. It's gone all grainy, has it? Well, just believe me, it's good. Okay, that's not bad. A couple of nice little stones in that. So turn this off, turn the water off, take the phone out. What I might even do is just remove the phone out, so and leave everything as it is. Now, is the water off? No. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. I think I did it the opposite direction to where it needed to go. That's all right. Rightio. Cancel. All right. I'm exhausted. And my phone is coming off. There we go. Yeah. Close that up. Close that up. Close that up. Oh, let me close the door. Okay. Swap things around. Oh, something went wrong. Did it? Hello there, Loki. How's that? You're going to have to change your water. Yeah, I'm coming. Got dishpan and thumb, look at that. More cauliflower than thumb. It's all that water. There you go. I know. Max, I'll get to you. I'll get to you. Loki's got a stack of pin feathers. That's why I'm actually dealing with it. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that to you. You can tell that we're getting better at this because usually if I'm a little bit... Yeah, see? Here, have a look at that pin. See that? That one I'm not really going to play with too much because it's got pink all over it. See there? See the pink on it? If you hit the pink, that sounds terrible, but if you scratch the pink bit, just believe me, I'm trying to be... Just, if you don't get the white bit, if there is something that's a different colour that might be associated with red, then it will hurt the bird. There's nerves and stuff in there, and there's also blood, and you can make something called a blood feather, and these birds they don't have a lot of blood in them, and so if you make them bleed, they can bleed to death. So, not good. Yeah, I know. Gotcha. Yeah. Now, Loki and I have got a pretty trusting relationship, so that means that I can grab her by the beak, which it's not all that common to have as a thing. Someone's playing with the vacuum cleaner. Okay. I know. We're done soon. Out you go. So someone's using the vacuum cleaner, which means that Daphne the dog does not like vacuum cleaners. Out she goes. I'll tell you when you're done. Sorry about that. All right. Max, say goodbye to the wonderful audience. You want to say goodbye? Loki's trying to get out. You got to do the bottom one, Loki. Okay. Do you want to scratch? No? I'll take that as it. I want to scratch. Yeah, piece of pin feather there. It seems that there's a few other duties that are about to be sent to me, so I think I'm going to have to leave it here. I want you to have a wonderful afternoon or morning or whatever it is. And I'm sure prosperous times will follow you wherever you go. And just so that you know, this thing is acting up, says something went wrong, tap to retry, which basically means I can't see the messages at the moment. So if you're sending me nice messages, I will reply to them later. I'm sorry about that. There you go, Max. Nice piece of pin feather gone. See if we can spot a nice bit of pin for you. Let's see, here. So that feather isn't close to a pin feather right there. See, just get the sheathing off. And they feel a lot more comfortable. It's a good way to bond with your bird. Don't do it too much because it's a very intimate thing. I think I've said that before. But yeah, enjoyable nonetheless. There we go. I think Max and Loki kind of have a thing going, even though it's somewhat fractious. Yeah. All right. Have a lovely afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to flip it around. It was wonderful cutting. I'm really tired. I can hear my neck cracking. But, you know, them's the breaks. It's good being in Australia at the moment. A lot of trouble around the world, none here. All right, have a lovely afternoon. Dr. Phil out.